Hey everyone, welcome to Sangeeta Creates. In today's video, we will be making this flower pattern. You can make this on a brown paper bag like I'm showing or on a sketchbook. The brown paper bag, I cut out the tops in a wavy motion. I'll be using inks to color in the sketchbook and marker and white gel pen to add details in the brown paper bag. So let's get creating. There are 5 simple steps to this flower: a spiral. The second one almost looks like a wonky chicken feet or a bird's feet, and a petal, the third step. The fourth are 2 curved lines to create the leaves and curvy lines to create patterns within the petal. The steps are pretty simple to follow. I would recommend that you practice this on a rough book before you move on to the final. This is an additional step. You just have to retrace the petal to create a nice depth. You can skip this step of adding lines if you wish. And the shading. Using ball pen, add adequate pressure and leave a tiny bit of white gap to create a nice highlight. You can create this flower using any colored ball pen. This shading especially, I find that is achievable only through ball pen. I'm using a big crystal ball pen of 1.6 mm. And that's it. That's the step to create the flower. A tissue is highly recommended because the nib is pretty thick, and since we're using the ink so much, the nibs can get clogged. This would make a wonderful coloring paper, and here is another way of using the same motif. This is by far my favorite way of using it. This bag, I got some groceries in it, so it's a perfect way to reuse it. I'm repeating the same step to create the flower, using a marker instead to draw out the main outline, and the details are done with the same ball pen. You can create this on an envelope, you can create this on a newspaper bag or any of old bags that you have lying around and repurpose it. This is the perfect project for kids and adults as well. You don't need a sketchbook or you don't need anything fancy. Any old bags that you have lying around also works. I recommend that you keep an old pamphlet or something inside so that the ink doesn't come onto the other side. I'm adding white highlights using Uniball Signo. If you don't have a white gel pen, you can probably use another color sketch pen or marker to add these highlights. Maybe you can give white crayons a shot, especially kids who don't have access to white gel pens. If you've been following me for a while, you know that these leaves are my favorite filler. I use them a lot in my videos. And filling up the leaves with black marker. That completes the paper bag transformation. I use these bags for putting gifts or to pack some of my orders. I have my own line of tote bags that can be put within. for the sketchbook, I'm moving on to inks. They're Dayton inks. I'm diluting them and applying different colors in the background. There is no particular order that I'm following. Whatever colors that appeal to me at that moment, I just laid them on. But remember, they're diluted versions, they're not very saturated and dark versions. Dayton inks are available in India online on Amazon. You can use any other water-based inks, or you can also use watercolors. If you are using this motif as a coloring sheet, you can also use wax crayons. Let the background dry, and we're moving on to the leaves using olive brown and emerald green ink to add color to the leaves. I'm using yellow ochre to add color to the center of the flower. Here I am using rose red to add colors to the petals of the flower. The only step here is add a saturated version of the ink to around the petals, and use some water to spread it around, and leave a tiny bit of gap in between to add a nice sheen or highlight to the petals. You can use multiple colors to paint the flowers in. I chose to stick with rose red throughout. You can make multiple colored flower. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this video, and leave a comment down below. And we're done with painting the leaves and the flowers. The only last step is to add these tiny leaves. If you wish, as fillers, you can totally skip this step. And that's it. That completes this really fun flower motif that can be used in different forms, on a sketchbook, on a brown paper bag. I hope you enjoy. Happy crafting, happy pen loving, and I'll see you soon.